Okay, this meeting of the Shelton Metropolitan Parks District is now called to order. We are immediately going to recess out of the regular meeting and go to a public hearing regarding the 2015 preliminary budget, and we will turn it over to Dave. We will turn it over to Kathy.
Good evening. Park board members, I don't know what to
I know.
I just want to say that tonight is the public hearing for the preliminary budget and the ad valorem taxes for the Shelton Metropolitan Park District. The 2015 preliminary budget for the Park District remains the same as presented last Monday, at $526,482. Now, I don't know if there's any questions on that. If you have any questions on the budget itself? Okay, then I'll move right along into the property tax. This budget includes $435,000 of revenues from property tax levy. Now, this is a 50.735% increase from the previous year, which seems like quite a bit. But really, that's just due to the prorationing for 2014. Otherwise, it would only be the 1% increase. So we're just bringing the amount, the levy, back to what it was in prior to the prorationing. So not knowing how that's going to set for this year. Plus, in addition to that, there's new construction and then taxes that $724 of taxes that were refunded in 14 that can be put back onto the levy. So that makes the regular levy $435,000, and the resolution is part of your packet there. And after the hearing is closed, I would request introduction and adoption of this resolution and the levy certification that goes along with it.
Okay. Okay, Mark, did you have anything to add, or are you just here for the show? Okay, okay. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay. I was on a short road trip this weekend, and I ended up in Spokane. And when I was in Spokane, I had an opportunity to enjoy the beautiful riverfront park there. And one of the interpretive signs that they had there was, according to the Trust for Public Land, there are 7 ways that city parks provide economic benefits. And those ways are property values, tourism, direct use, health, community cohesion, clean water, and clean air. And that really resonated with me, and for that reason, I will always be an advocate for our city parks. So that's my testimony. Is there any? Dave?
Just for the record, this budget stuff kind of gets technical at times. And for the record, what's happening is that we aren't able to collect the full amount of property taxes that would otherwise accrue to the Parks District because our assessed values inside the city have dropped. And so we've reached the maximum amount of money that can be collected. It's less than what used to be collected, but it's a reflection of the of dropping assessed values. So what we're doing is we're making a request for the amount that we're allowed to request under state law. And what will happen is the county will take that request, and then they'll give us back less than what we asked for until property values in the assessment area, meaning the city, return to normal. So that's something that we haven't included in a we've only discussed that in a study session, so I thought it was important to raise that issue here. So that's it's getting more, people raised their taxes in order to be able to fund it, but we're not able, over long term, able to keep up because of the nuances in state law that cap the amount of property taxes that we can collect. So that's all I had to say.
Okay, well, that's valuable for everyone to realize. Okay. Is there any other public testimony? Okay, at this point, we will close the public hearing. Are you ready to have Leslie read the resolution?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Leslie Ann?
Resolution SMPD 11-1114, a resolution of the Shelton Metropolitan Park District of Shelton, Washington, increasing the ad valorem taxes for calendar year 2015 and levy certification.
Okay. Is there a motion to adopt that resolution?
I move we adopt resolution number SMPD 11-1114.
I second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the motion passes. Have you had an opportunity to look at the consent agenda? As have I. Are you ready for that to be read?
Yes.
Consent agenda, Shelton Metropolitan Park District minutes from the meeting of October 27th, 2014.
I move we approve the consent agenda as read.
I second that motion. Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. There's no old...
Kathy had a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just inquiring on the motion for the resolution. Did the levy certification need to be approved also?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so we skipped,
Sorry.
can we just add that, or do we need a whole new motion?
Now we need a second motion.
Okay.
I move that we also approve the ad valorem taxes for calendar year 2015 and adoption of the 2015 levy certification. Did I do it?
Okay, sounds good.
I second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the motion passes. Thank you, Kathy. So, no old business, no new business. We have an administration report. Okay. Okay. Any public comment tonight? All right, the next regular meeting of the Shelton Metropolitan Park District is November 24th, 2014 at 1:45 p.m. This meeting is adjourned.
Okay, we'll move right into the city business. First of all, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, I'm glad everybody made it on a nice, dark, rainy evening. It's going to throw you off going outside at 5 now. It's dark. You get used to it. First up, we'll have commission reports. Commissioner Moore?
I have no scheduled meetings this week. I did want to say that I was inspired by Dave's comments last week at the budget hearing about how our city, even though we are going through a difficult time, can continue to thrive through innovation and through the commitment of its citizens. And also on my trip, I was able to visit with community leaders in several small towns, way smaller than Shelton, such as Waterville, Republic, Medellin Falls. And I am amazed at all the innovation there is in small cities and how much passion and how many ideas So I would just like to encourage everyone to voice your ideas, and with a commitment, we can accomplish great things with little money. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. Tomorrow, I have a Law Enforcement Firefighters Disability Board meeting, and Wednesday, I have a Mental Health and Substance Abuse Advisory Board meeting. And that's all I have so far scheduled this week. Okay, next we'll move into the general public comment period. If anybody's signed up. I think Marilyn wanted to. Public hearing. Okay, so we don't have anybody signed up, so at this point, we will also move into a public hearing on the 2015 preliminary budget and consideration of the 2015 ad valorem tax levy ordinance. And Kathy or Dave, or Kathy and Dave?
Okay, me again. Okay, good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioner. The 2015 preliminary budget for the city as a whole totals $49,129,281. The details of this budget was presented at last Monday's commission meeting, October 27th. And the budget document was filed with the city clerk at that time. Are there any questions on the budget as it was presented last week?
No.
None.
I'm
Okay.
comfortable.
So I'll move on to the ad valorem taxes. The general fund's 2015 preliminary budget of $12,617,890 includes a regular property tax levy of $1,738,000 and an EMS property tax levy of $205,000. The bond fund's 2015 preliminary budget of $512,075 includes a property tax levy of $229,650. This bond levy is used to pay the annual debt payment on the bonds issued to pay for part of the Civic Center building. There's 3 years left on this debt. The Fireman's Pension Fund's 2015 preliminary budget of $438,584 includes a property tax levy of $142,500. These monies are used to pay for the city's left retirees' pensions, health benefits, and long-term care insurance. Now, the regular property taxes, which is the general fund and Fireman's Pension Fund's regular property taxes, includes an increase in regular property taxes of 1% over last year's levy amount, plus additional taxes for 2014 new construction and improvements and state property tax value increases, and refunds of $4,156. The EMS property tax had a 0% increase over last year's levy amount, plus additional taxes for 2014 new construction and improvements and state property value increases. It had a 0% because it's capped by the levy rate because of the assessed values dropping. Now, for 2015, the Mason County Assessor has estimated a decrease in the city's property tax values of just a little over $8 million. That's a 1.4% decrease in the assessed valuation for 2015. Now, that's their estimate at this point in time. There can be changes between now and year end, generally not much. You have a copy of Ordinance 1860-1114 and the 2015 levy certification in your packet. They have been prepared to correspond with the amounts included in the preliminary budget. Do you have any questions on the ad valorem taxes? Then, after the public hearings close, I would request the first reading of the ordinance 1860-114 tonight, and then place that ordinance and the levy certification on the consent agenda for November 10th for second reading and passage. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, comments?
No.
My only comment would be I'm a little disappointed that we don't get more public involvement in this process. It's our most important thing we do each year, and it's hard to understand, I realize that, but it would be nice if you get out to the TV audience there that it's not too late, you can still come in and pick up a copy and make comments, or at least try to understand it and myself and Dave and Kathy are on the Finance Committee, and all of us would be available for questions at any time if we can do anything to help. So other than that, we're where we are with it, and we're struggling, so shop local, as they say, and buy houses, build houses. At this time, if there's any public comment on this, we'll take public comment.
This is the public hearing.
Public hearing on the preliminary budget.
Marilyn Boger, 420 East Melford. I have two comments about the public works part of the budget this year. In January of 2014, when the city presented its works plan, the public works section included spring and fall cleanup days, with the parentheses given that budget and policy allow. Since we didn't have those this year, I presume either budget or policy or both didn't allow. I'm aware that our garbage recycling rates are going to be increased this year, which is fine. I'm a strong advocate of recycling. I hope they're increased enough so that we can include both spring and fall cleanup days for certain in 2015. There's been quite an effort to clean up the city. We have an ordinance that allows for citing and demanding cleanup of properties. We have a revisioning project in the works for what we want our city to be like. I want it to be clean. I want people who are not able, don't have the cash, the facilities, the truck, whatever it takes to clean up their property, to have assistance. And so I hope you will do that. Secondly, I had talked with Greg Clark about the fact that businesses are not required to recycle. Residences are. And I'm reasonably certain that the small amount of recycling I have pales by comparison to the amount of recyclables many of our businesses send to the landfill. As I understood it, the rate study that has been delayed until 2016 in this budget was necessary in order to determine how much to charge businesses for the city to recycle their goods. I hope that we won't wait for the 2016 rate study and the 2017 or 2018 implementation of recycling for business properties. It seems to me you could calculate some comparable rate based on big bins or small bins and how often it's picked up, and give the businesses a break. I know they're pressed, but I hope that you will consider an ordinance this coming year to require recycling of business and commercial properties. I hope you'll offer them the option of contracting with the city to do that, contracting privately to do that, but I think it's imperative that we move our recycling program forward so that everyone in the city participates. Thank you.
Thanks, Marilyn. I believe we possibly will be touching on that at the retreat a little bit. I know we've got lots to do, so that might not be as high a priority, but I know we are trying to think of that, some kind of a rate increase for garbage. And
That can be added. It's, but we have we're working
Pretty full
through most
plate.
of the day already,
Yeah.
so it'll be a long retreat day. So, but I know there's interest in that.
Sure.
I would say also that we do frequently have conversations trying to find a creative way that we can offer the at least 2 cleanup days per year. And so far, it seems like it's financially not feasible, but we are still discussing that.
Okay, it appears we have no further public comments, so at this time, I will ask Commissioner Moore if you're ready to close this hearing, and any more questions or comments? Okay. Close the public hearing and recess back into our regular hearing. And now I'll ask if you've had enough time and ready for the first reading
Yes.
of this ordinance. Can we have that last again, please?
Ordinance number 1860-1114, first reading. An ordinance of the City of Shelton, Washington, increasing ad valorem taxes in the City of Shelton for calendar year 2015.
Okay, if no further questions or comments, I suppose we concur to move this on to the second reading next week.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we'll do. Now we'll move to the consent agenda. You could have that read also, please.
Consent agenda, vouchers numbered 84450 through 84518 in the amount of $253,870.10. Manual warrant numbered 84446 in the amount of $724.30 to AT&T. Commission meeting minutes from study session of October 13th, 2014, business meeting of October 20th, 2014, and study session of October 27th, 2014.
Thank you. Is there any questions or discussion on this?
No?
Okay, if not, then I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as read.
And I would second that. And if there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving along to old business, we have none. New business, we have none. So administration report.
Okay, a few things. I'll be this week. It's my turn to be on Focus on Shelton on Thursday morning. So if you want to listen in, we'll be talking about the budget. I know you've probably heard it before. So the
Couple of times.
Sewer Funding Coalition, the mayor and I will be making phone calls on Thursday and Friday afternoon to other mayors, typically, or city managers across the state to encourage them to join our coalition. At this point, we've secured enough participation to raise around $9,000 or $10,000. I haven't got an accounting the last few days, but we're beginning to get checks in for that now. So that's coming together reasonably well. Just a little announcement about our swearing-in ceremony for Darren Moody. He will be here on the 10th of November to be sworn in at the afternoon commission meeting that day. There has been quite a bit of interest expressed, mainly from law enforcement community, to come and be there, witness that, congratulate Darren. And so there's probably enough people to where we thought, well, we'll open up, instead of having the study session in just one of the smaller rooms, we'll open it up into two. And then so far there isn't very much on the agenda, so we feel like we can have the swearing-in ceremony and then do a little reception afterward. Not long or not a lot of stuff, but just so people have a chance to say congratulations and get to know the new chief of police. And that concludes my report for this evening.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the new police chief in. He seems like a personable guy. Fun to see him. Okay, another period for general public comment. Any of you two public out there? Okay, administration final touches then.
I just wanted to give you a touch, and I'll see if there's others, but we, next week, it's my intention to have propose an interlocal agreement, probably with the city, with another city, to put together an organization to start with the organizational structure that's necessary for us to be able to hire a lobbyist, to look for grant dollars for all of the cities that are participating in the 2015 legislature. So they talked to the legal and to the attorney, and I'll either make that report myself or Amanda will. I'm going to talk to her about that tomorrow to see whether she wants to do that. So anyhow, so there's a touch for that interlocal agreement for presentation next week. Are there other touches? No other touches.
Since how we're on budget items and with your announcement of that, have we determined, I know we paid for the internship, and are we also putting in more money into the lobbyist, or are we kind of facilitating it and that was our donation?
If things work out like I have planned, we should raise more than enough money to be able to do this from outside sources. But we haven't asked you whether you wanted us to put in a share that we would or otherwise pay, so, of the lobbyist expense. I hope to raise enough money to maybe get another intern in here for a while too, because it's going to get real busy during the legislative session, coordinating communications and such with the stakeholders. So at this point,
In addition to a lobbyist?
Pardon?
In addition to a lobbyist?
Yeah, I hope to be able to. I can't. I don't know where we're going to be in terms of raising money. I know that so far so good. We've done very well. So, anyhow,
Okay.
I don't know the answer to that. And
Okay.
before we do, we'll come and talk to you about it.
Yeah, just kind of popped into my head there.
Okay.
Okay, that appears to be the end of the meeting, and the announcement of the next meeting is next Monday, the 10th at 2 p.m. back here with the swearing in of the chief. So hope to see you all then. This meeting's adjourned.